PFF giving a hard time about the Denver Broncos, specifically Jeff Legwold, who's the reporter for ESPN covering the Broncos. And so the parameters, I think it's important to set it up, it was a complete redraft of the entire NFL league. Everybody was available to draft. It did snake, so picking, like, let's say it was the Bengals picked first. They also had the 64th pick then, so it did snake. And you had 4 rounds. You had to take 1 quarterback, 1 offensive player, 1 defensive player, and a flex, so a non-quarterback flex. So the Broncos ended up walking out with Drew Lock at 15, Travis Kelce at 50, Isaiah Simmons listed as a linebacker here in the 3rd round at 79, and then Cortland Sutton at 114 in the 4th round. So pretty good overall get there, I would say. Yeah, obviously Travis Kelce, not the biggest fan of him, being a Denver fan. He has a little bit of the theatrics get a little annoying there.
Right.
But Drew Lock going 15, and I think that is the one that's caused the most hullabaloo, I guess we'll call it that. Pro Football Focus's issue, obviously, Drew Lock, young quarterback, still coming in his 2nd year, but Matt Ryan went after him, Teddy Bridgewater went after him, Jimmy Garoppolo went after him, Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Matt Stafford, and Kyler Murray. So I guess, what did PFF have to say exactly about
it? They just pretty much said, again, there's a lot of other quarterbacks. They would have taken pretty much every quarterback that was taken in the 1st round of this last draft ahead of him. They would have taken a lot of other guys ahead of him. And, of course, they had their famous saying of even his own mom wouldn't have taken him at 15, all those kind of things. And so it is – and you and I talked about this right before the show, and we talked about it in our Facebook chat with some of the other guys on our website. We even had some disagreements on how we would rank all the young guys. And right now it is. There's just a lot of unproven young talent in the NFL. There's this huge changing of the guard. Peyton Manning retiring. Ben Roethlisberger's probably not too far behind. Tom Brady, not too far behind. Drew Brees. And so you have this rush of young guys coming in and a switch in how the NFL is kind of conducting themselves on offense too. And so you're needing a different type of quarterback compared to those true pocket passers to make it work. Mahomes, he was picked number 1.
Yeah, so I guess number 1 was Mahomes, number 2 Russell Wilson, number 3 Lamar Jackson, number 4 Deshaun Watson. 4 quarterbacks there, makes sense. Then Aaron Donald at 5, Ronnie Stanley at 6, Joey Bosa at 7, Drew Brees at 8, Dak Prescott at 9, Nick Bosa at 10, Carson Wentz at 11, Aaron Rodgers at 12, Joe Burrow at 13, Tom Brady at 14, and Drew Lock at 15. So that's how the first 15 stacked up for the Denver when Jeff Legwold and the Denver Broncos were on the clock.
Right. And so, again, you have a lot of these young guys who are very much bunched together. They've all had moments of greatness that they've shown. I mean, Baker Mayfield, his rookie season looked like he's going to be that next great star. And yes, I don't know how they got that name over us, but that's all right. We like our name. We've always been about building the Broncos. We've even said that before we had the name to the show, that's what we were about, is learning how to build a team. And so I'm okay with that. They can have that title. But yes. And then, of course, Sam Darnold. I was a huge fan of his coming out. Personally, I would take him ahead of Drew Lock. I just think he has a little bit higher upside. I think Drew Lock could end up having the better career, but that's more because of situation that he's in.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold is like in one of the worst situations. Bad coach, not a whole lot of weapons. The player they did take is a wide receiver that's going to take 2 to 3 years to develop, all those kind of things. So, yeah, it just there was a lot of factors that went into this, and I can understand why Jeff Legwold thought, hey, I think Drew Lock has the potential for a lot of for a very bright future. And really, when you're picking at 15th and you're taking the 11th quarterback, at that point, you're going to have to take some risk. I know some people have said Matthew Stafford, Matt Ryan, those kind of guys, but we know what they are.
Yeah. I mean, a 5-year window is a big one. I could hear, I think it was James made a good point here. Some kind of silly ones like Big Ben going when he did, but Drew Brees and Tom Brady that late, you might only have 1 season left. I just couldn't get behind that. I'd have no issue really going to, you have some anger coming in here. Sam Darnold over Drew Lock. It's a sample size thing. I mean, Sam Darnold is entering year 3 of his NFL career, and he's still younger than Joe Burrow. Will be a rookie this season. So Sam Darnold, really bad situation, but I still think a lot of talent is there. I think Daniel Jeremiah banks a drum from him the most. The one player here, I really am excited about Drew Lock. I can't emphasize that enough, but going Drew Lock before Kyler Murray, I'm out.
Yeah.
He's the one on there where it's like Kyler Murray. I would have been fine going with Kyler Murray at 6. I think he would have been the 5th quarterback off the board for me just because of how much talent he does have, the youth, the explosiveness as a runner and a thrower. So I'm a big Kyler Murray fan, especially in the air raid offense. So he's the only one I think I would go staunchly with over Drew Lock. But going Drew Lock at 15, considering what he showed last year, I don't think it's as much of a stretch as the Pro Football Focus guys are saying. He definitely should have been round 1, considering he's a young quarterback that's already shown the flashes that there is franchise quarterback potential.